The Fundamentals of Kootaneeti is one of my best selling books. It's the book that gave me my identity. However, I'm not a celebrated author, so a lot of people still ask me what is Kootaneeti and that if it really matters me in my life. Kootaneeti is a complex subject and it is hard to define it. It is like dharma. Dharma is something that is experienced. Kootaneeti too is an experiential knowledge and also wisdom. So, where can Kootaneeti be used? Let me tell you two important stories. The first story is about a farmer who had a large tract of land and a cow pen. And it so happened that one day his farmland got infested with rodents. And as you know, where there are rodents, there are also the serpents. So the serpents or the snakes started coming in search of the rodents. And when the rodents escaped into the cow pen, his cows were becoming collateral damage. He tried everything that he could possibly do, but nothing worked. So he went to a rishi and he asked, I have this problem. What do you suggest I do? So the rishi said, get mongoose pups and put it on your land. As you know, the mongoose are enemy to the serpents as well as rodents. So both the parties were kept out. And because the mongoose pups were also playful, they became friends with the cows. And the happy cows gives more milk. Now, this is the first case of Kootaneeti. The problem that faced by the farmer was essentially that seemed surmountable. It was complex. But just by bringing in one single factor of the mongoose pups on his farm solved his problem. This is what is called as symbiotic relationship. So if you have a problem with someone, you don't need to become that person. Let's imagine this. So you are doing a business and somebody is trying to goon against you. You don't have to be a goon to handle that goon. You just need to find his natural enemy who could be your friend, get it into the mix, and you solve your problem. So Kootaneeti is essentially finding answer to the most complex problem with minimal effort and maximum strategy. This is one of the definition. The second story is about a person who had no money and no wealth in the conventional sense, actually. So he went to a rishi and he asked, I don't have money, I don't come from an affluent family, so I don't have any great credibility. So, how do you think I can make more money? So the rishi said that, son, what you do is that you remember one thing, that when you are in an association with someone, when you're trying to build a rapport with someone, don't ask that person as to what he can give you. Explain what you can give. Talk about the value and not only about money. So he kept it in mind and then he went different places. And he went to a place where there was a person who was making beautiful carpets. And it so happened that he realized that this carpet could sell well back in his town. So he told to the carpet guy, Sir, can you give me a small portion of your carpet which I can sell and I can repay you with better money that you would get here? So the carpet maker told him, Well, it's not a big deal, but how should I trust you? So this person said, Sir, you see, I'm asking you a small portion of your production. But if I sell it into the market and I bring back you the money, then you have a trust. That is how the trust is built. And a carpet person said, Fine, no worries. Then he had a second problem, how to handle the logistics. So those days there are what you call as carters. So I went to a carter and he said, I don't have money, but if you can come with me, help me transport these products back to my hometown, I will give you slightly better money than what you could get. And we can have a regular business relationship. The carter was not doing much. So he said, fine, let's do some, let's try it. So when he sold his carpet, he gave a little bit more money than he had promised to the carter as well as to the person who was making the carpets. So that began the relationship, and based on the trust, that person became a successful merchant of his time. In both the cases, you see, the resources were the financial resources were not available. Even in those days, if the person was to get a funding from what you call today as loan sharks, he would have had to pay higher rate of interest. Even in today's world, we are looking at all the relationships on a financial terms and not in the term that they need to be understood. The Kootaneeti teaches us a great essence of symbiotic relationships, identifying this symbiotic relationship to address all the problem, including the debts, the markets, the threats, and anything that goes around with it. So this is what is Kootaneeti, and this is what my book, The Fundamentals of Kootaneeti, is all about. And if you want to learn more about Kootaneeti, there is a course on the Vedic Management Center, which is called as The Fundamentals of Kootaneeti, that is being sold for $50 right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, pranam and namaste.